Hi everyone, my name is Suzanne and I'm a Chinese metaphysics master in Hong Kong. Today we're going to have a little bit of fun with Bazi. Life is being so serious lately and I thought we'll just discuss a little bit tongue-in-cheek how to deal with a crisis, or as the title implies, a zombie apocalypse based on your Bazi day master. And even though we're not going through a zombie apocalypse just yet, but obviously I think we can still agree that we are going through somewhat of a crisis. Some people are struggling a little bit more than others. And in this little video, I'll try to explain why you may feel more affected than others and who you can latch onto if you really want to survive that zombie apocalypse. So the first thing you need to do, as always, is to plot your Bazi chart. You can go through the link here, and I will also post a link in the show notes. So Bazi 2021.masteryacademy.com, and you can create a free account and then just plot as many Bazi charts as you want. And specifically what we are looking at is the natal chart. I know you get probably 2 pages. They're all very confusing, especially for newbies. If you're not really into Bazi, if you're not really sure what you need to look at, then just focus on this part here. It's on the first page, all the way on the top. It says natal chart. This is what you look at, and all the rest you just forget about. Yeah, don't panic. And even in the natal chart, all we look at is this element. Yeah, so that's called the day master. So this is the heavenly stem of the day. It's called the day master, and this is what we are going to discuss in this little course. So take note of what day master you have. Take note of what day master your partner has, your friends have, and then you can determine what you need to do or what you want to avoid in a crisis, or as it says here, the zombie apocalypse. So you will have one of these 10 as your day masters. Yeah, so there's Jia wood, Yi wood, Bing fire, Ding fire, Wu earth, Qi earth, Geng metal, Xin metal, Ren water, or Kui water. So one of those 10 will be your day master. Now let's have a look at how they react in a crisis or during a zombie apocalypse. So let's start with Jia wood here. Now, Jia will probably emerge as the selfless leader in a crisis, and everyone else can rely on this person. So if you're in a crisis, then just look around for a Jia day master. This will be the person to lead you out of the crisis, or at least it will be someone you can rely on for help. Yeah, they will rally and protect the weak and the survivors and will lead them out of the crisis. So ideally follow the Jia out out of a crisis in troubled times, yeah, and they will lead you to a safe haven and make sure that everyone is taken care of. That's the Jia wood. Now, if you have Yi wood, then these are the strategists, they are the manipulators, they are the planners, and they probably had several plans already prior to the crisis. Yeah, they have a plan A, B, and then a plan C just in case, and they are able to change and adapt on the fly as needed. So they're also quite good to be around because they will always find a way, and they will be able to trick themselves out of a crisis. The next one is Bing Fire. Now, Bing Fire, I'm sorry to say, is not likely to survive a life or death situation or a zombie apocalypse because they tend to sacrifice themselves in order to save their friends and their family. So if your best friend is a Bing fire, that's awesome. They're gonna sacrifice themselves so that you can survive. But if you are the Bing fire, I would say stick to a Jia wood or a Yi wood instead, because you're going to give up everything in a crisis to help everyone else, and then suddenly you're left stranded all by yourself. Yeah. So um, it would be better to just find someone else who leads you out of the crisis. You can still protect others, but make sure that you find someone else who leads you to safety. Next one is the Ding fire. Now, Ding fire are the people who are the perfect people to inspire and motivate others not to give up. Yeah, they're the ones who tell you to keep going. We can do this. We will survive. Yeah, they will keep up morale, which is very important in a crisis. And you really need these people to fire you up when you are in a downward spiral, or if you think that you can't do it. So then having a Ding fire as your friend is very, very good, because they will push you forward, and they will make sure that you do not give up. And they're always looking for solutions and ways out of a quagmire. Yeah, so they're, in that sense, they're similar to the Yi wood, but Yi wood is faster to adapt. Yeah, Ding fire is more about motivation, and very often, if you have the right mindset, you can get through a crisis, right? So if you are the Ding fire, then you will be one of those people who can motivate others. And by doing so, banding together, you will find a solution out of the crisis. Now, Wu Earth Day Masters, they are master accumulators and hoarders. Yeah, so the Wu Earth Day Master will be the first one to raid the malls and the supermarkets for toilet paper. Yeah, as we've seen during COVID last year. Um, they will probably still have toilet paper left over from all the panic purchases that happened last year, and they will stockpile supplies, yeah, for in anticipation of a prolonged sort of crisis, or a protracted and lengthy situation, lockdown that requires you to just stay put. So if you are looking for someone who has all the food, all the toilet paper, all the weapons needed for a zombie apocalypse, and you want to sit tight with that person, go find yourself a Wu Earth Day Master, or if you're one of those, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, Sea Earth Day Masters, they are the born nurturers. Yeah, they will have set up some sort of sustainable supply system before the crisis has even hit, and they are ready. Yeah, so they are the survivalists. They will have a bunker ready. They will be prepared also on a mental level, and they will nurture survivors through the crisis and beyond. So they are selfless as well. So they're not just going to hoard everything for themselves. They will actually set up sustainable systems that can see them through the crisis, and not just themselves but also others. So this, if this is your game plan, and if you just want to find someone who can nurture you through the crisis, then you go look for a Sea Earth Day Master. Now, the Gunmetal Day Master, so they are the born warriors anyway. They're very good in crisis situations. They are the fighters, and a Gunmetal Day Master may not even realize that the zombie apocalypse is happening, because they're always in fighting mode anyway. They're always fighting zombies, ghosts, vampires, or evil people. Even in, you know, in regular situations, they are always fighting for something better. They're always trying to defeat the evil. And so for them, it doesn't really make a difference whether we're going through a crisis or not, because they are in crisis mode all the time. So this is a crisis is just another day for them, and they are more than capable to sit this out, or to fight it out rather. They are also great people to latch onto if you want to survive, because they will protect you to the death. Yeah, so they will be there, stand up for you, and they will fight on your behalf, because that's what they do. Now, Sin Metal Daymasters, that's a very different story. Yeah, they're the divas among the Daymasters, whether male or female, and they will not be able to handle a disaster very well, and will likely die tragically and very dramatically from a broken heart or something that's completely unrelated to the crisis. Yeah. So in a crisis is probably not the best idea to stick with a Sin Metal Daymaster unless they have very strong other elements in their natal chart, like Gung Metal or Xia Wood. Otherwise, yeah, they will die tragically from a trauma that's completely unrelated to the crisis. Now, dying not in the literal sense, yeah, they will just give up, yeah, and they may really, really suffer through a crisis. They may really suffer through a lockdown. It's gonna hit them really, really hard. Then we've got Ren Water Day Masters. Now, the Ren Water Day Masters, they're extremely action oriented, and they will charge into the fight without even thinking about it. They will not think things through, so they will likely die tragically, but very heroically. Yeah, but tragically, while fighting off the zombies, or while fighting off the enemy, or whatever it is they're fighting off. Yeah, they will exert all their energy in the crisis. And even though, despite their best efforts, they may not survive it. So again, for people like that, you may want to latch onto a Gung Metal or a Xia Wood or any of the other survivors here. Ren Water Daymasters, they're just a little bit too impulsive. Yeah, they don't think things through, and that is why very often they fail in a crisis, because they don't really plan several steps ahead. And then lastly, we've got the Koi Water. So the Koi Water is very similar to the Sin Metal Daymaster in that they are incapable of dealing with hardships, and they will become very emo in a crisis. Yeah, they will become extremely introverted and will tend to just isolate themselves in order to deny reality, and then eventually they die tragically. Yeah, so they will deny reality, and they will deny the trauma as long as possible. And then if they finally have to face it, it's too late. Now, as I said, some of them are survivors. Yeah, so latch on to those. And again, please don't take this too seriously. This is just a little bit of a lighter topic for a change. But you can use this technique to analyze how someone is actually reacting in a crisis. Yeah, so you can use this. It's not just used in zombie apocalypse. It gives you an indication of how people react in difficult situations, and who is better equipped from a mindset perspective to actually see things through when they get difficult, and who you want to be friends with in a crisis. So go analyze your friends' Bazi charts, your spouse's Bazi charts, and see whether this is a person you can rely on in a crisis. If not, make sure you make friends with someone who can. So I hope you enjoyed this one little lighter topic. If you have any questions, you can always contact me. The contact details are in the notes below.